to the Ride On Motorcycle Podcast, sponsored by BrakeFree. I'm your host, Jogo, and in this episode, we got an all-star crew coming on. We got Riding and Wrenching, we got Cycle Fanatics, Just GQ, and Robert Simmons, and we'll be discussing the 2024 Harley Davidson models that they just released. A couple of these content creators actually already got to ride them, so I'm interested to get everybody's opinions about them. But before we bring them on, just a couple quick announcements. First on the list, if you haven't joined my Facebook group, make sure you hop on Facebook, type in Jogo Motorcycle Adventures, and join completely free. I like to share some stuff in there that sometimes I don't share on YouTube and Instagram. And I also schedule the live streams that I'm having because sometimes YouTube doesn't push that out. And then next on the list, as I mentioned in the intro, this stream is sponsored by BrakeFree. If you don't know who or what they are, they're a company that makes a brake light for the back of your helmet. No Bluetooth, no wires, just slap it on and it works. I'll give you a little more info on that here in a bit. And then lastly, if you want to become a member of the Let's Go crew, I don't know if you guys saw, Riding and Wrenching just joined. Robert's in there. Basically, it's my YouTube membership, $4.99 a month. You get some pretty cool perks, early access to my latest videos. You get a little badge and some special emojis. And every single penny that I make off of that goes right back into the channel so I can level up the content. All right. Now, with all that out of the way, let's bring in the all-star crew. But before we do that, we got to roll the intro for them. Let's do it.
The temps in the sun started dropping faster like holding a hot pan with no gloves.
The biggest little YouTube channel.
I got Hal Wyman over here. Great crew, beautiful.
So, what do you think?
Damn. Holy shit.
Fellas, what is going on today?
Awesome intro. What's
Thank you,
going on,
thank you.
man? Good job, man. You're getting better and better at this, man.
Appreciate that. I want to thank all you gentlemen for joining me today. Want to go ahead and recognize a few people that's in the live chat right now. We got Miss Jenny, Lee Sturgis, Andy Rides, George O'Brien, Trucker Two Times, Southern Hogs, Q's Softail Adventures, my wife, a bunch of other people. Papa D Rides is up in here. So, all right, guys, we're going to hop right into this. Before we get into all the questions, just a quick 15 20-second intro of you guys, of your channels and yourselves. So we'll start off with Cycle Fanatics.
What's going on, guys? John, Cycle Fanatics, doing mostly road glide, performance bagger, builds, rides, reviews, pretty much all Harley content.
Very good, very good. All right, GQ, you're up.
What's up, everybody? This is GQ, the leader of the Peace Army. The channel is Just GQ, and I focus on cinematic, long distance Harley riding with a little bit of reviews and tips and tricks in between.
Perfect. And then we'll go over with Riding and Wrenching.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Q from Riding and Wrenching, the biggest little YouTube channel on the entire interwebs. I put out any video that'll get a couple of views, and I do backflips. Talk about motorcycles and just any random thing that I come up with. Mostly Harley content, but I love motorcycles, so I'll do anything.
All right, perfect. And then last but certainly not least, Robert Simmons.
You got to love that guy. What's going on, guys? Robert Simmons here. Be the boss of your motorcycle. And this channel, with positivity and zero arrogance, focuses on teaching people how to properly operate their motorcycles. And that's in the speed range between 1 and 10 miles per hour. I want to thank Joe for having me on here. I also want to thank Joe for being the Ohio ambassador for Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle, and Riding and Wrenching, who is the Tennessee ambassador.
All All right, awesome. All right, so we'll move on to the first question here for everybody. So without getting into any super detail, what did you all think about the release that Harley just did with all the new models? Just your first initial thoughts, and we can start with GQ up there.
I was surprised at the 117 being the standard mode. I thought they would have bumped it up like they usually do, every couple of years with uh, the 107, then the 114 being a special, then the CVO with the 117. I would have thought the standard model would have been the 114, but seeing that there's no quote unquote special, it's just a standard base model with packages, the 117 model, engine was probably the biggest surprise for me.
Okay, what are your thoughts over there, John?
Yeah, I mean, the Road Glide CVO ST is an amazing bike. Really impressed with that motorcycle. I actually seen the Road Glide and Street Glide standard for just a few minutes at the local dealer. Looks great. So I can't wait to ride it here in the next couple of days. Be out there with Rob in Vegas. So looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm really excited about the CVO ST. It's just an amazing motorcycle.
Yeah, we'll I got a little video cut together for that, so stay tuned for that, guys. So Q, what are your initial thoughts?
Well, I feel like they leaked most of the bikes that were going to be out there, but after seeing them in person, they look better in person because the paint jobs have so much detail to it. So the release I thought was actually a really good. I was surprised that we didn't get a CVO limited, but the release I thought was fantastic.
Okay, and Robert, what do you think about all this?
So I still haven't seen them in person. So what I will say is, from what I have seen and from what I do know now, I'm impressed. Right, I want to learn more. I want to ride them. I think the best part about this whole thing was seeing John in the commercial, or not the commercial, but seeing his video, and he was the first one to ride that CVOST, and then seeing just GQ with other bikes, and I mean, I need to see them in person. But right now, I'm happy about quite a few things with Harley Davidson as we speak.
Yeah, so I actually did a poll on my channel, got like, I don't know, like 80 votes, nothing huge, but I asked if everybody was happy with the new release, and a lot of people were just kind of neutral on it, which I'm kind of surprised. I was pretty happy with everything.
Well, it's like anything else. People are neutral. There's a lot of people that didn't like the last models of the CVOs the first CVO remodel that came out. Everything
Right.
changes when you see it. Everything changes when you see it. Not for everyone, but for a lot of people. It just doesn't do it justice.
Yep, completely agree. So we'll just go around the horn here. I think I already know John's favorite model, but what's everybody's favorite model from the release? You got the Street Glide, the Road Glide ST, and the Pan America CVO. What are you thinking, GQ?
Oh, for me obviously it's the white CVO ST. I think that's just I got to get my hands on it, but just looking at it, that's probably like my favorite one, followed by, and this might be a shock, the Whiskey Fire Street Glide.
What?
Oh, okay, all right.
I think that I really like that color, and I like it on the street. Like I think that's a smooth color, and it fits the Street Glide.
Okay, John, what's your favorite one? The Pan America CVO.
Hey, listen, that's a nice. I haven't seen it in person, but the paint looks good on it. But
Yeah.
hopefully, I'll see one soon. It's got to be the white Road Glide CVO ST. That thing in person, it's amazing. The ride quality, the power, the bars. I mean, I could go on and on and on, and just the bike just looks fantastic, you know, in person with that pearl white, all the black and the red just popping off of it.
Mm.
The brakes are incredible. The suspension's great. Like I said already, you have the power, you have the torque. And I think definitely by far for what I see in all of the videos and all of the throughout all the social media platforms, people are loving that bike. I think I got like literally a few hundred people commenting like you sold me. Like I literally just got off the phone with HD, you know, my dealer, and put an order on. Like that's how crazy it's been. What I've seen people commenting, people are crazy about the bike.
Yeah. GQ, you're sideways. You're the wrong way. You're in portrait mode.
You saw me going like this?
All good. What's your favorite model from release, Robert?
CVO Road Glide ST white, definitely. It's all about the contrast. Like the black, it looks nice, but you lose the contrast because of the black, you know, whereas with the white, the carbon fiber pieces stick out more, the red pops more. And the good thing about this bike, as much as people like it, it's actually available. Like, you know, It's not like the first release where everybody was waiting for it to come in. It's available. So that's good.
Yeah. What's your favorite model, Q?
You know, I thought it would be the white CVO ST, and I haven't seen one in person yet, but I saw a black one, and man, it's not just black. There's a lot of depth to that color, and it looks fantastic. I thought it looked spectacular. If I were going to buy one, I don't know if I would get the CVO ST though, because there's a lot of neat things about it that I like, but you know, they had shorter floorboards. I don't know how I would like that over the long term. You know, I kind of like the floorboards and all the equipment that's on the standard CVO. And that white looks good. I think the black looks good. I mean, you know, flip a coin. I'm not sure why they still make the Street Glide. I think the Street Glide should be put out to pasture, because the Road Glide is clearly the best bike that Harley Davidson makes. And why they make any other bike is beyond me. I don't know.
Oh, come on, Q. We're going to kick you off here. Jeez Louise.
Did you expect anything otherwise?
And so it begins.
Yeah, and you guys that are watching right now, let me know down in the live chat what your favorite model was, or even what you thought about it. I'd like to know your guys' opinion. So now let's move into question number 3. This is kind of two-part. I should have split this up, but so I'm going to ask everybody's thoughts on the Road Glide ST and the standard, but we'll start with the standard one first. And for that, since GQ actually got to ride the Road Glide standard, I got a quick video cut together of that. So we'll watch that and then come back and get everybody's thoughts.
Many wake up each day in search of the American dream, and it comes in many forms. But for me, there's nothing more American than riding a Harley Davidson across this beautiful country. My dream came to life as I got a first look and ride on the new model year 24 Harley Davidsons, and this is the story of how it went. We got the 2024 models coming off the back of the truck. Watching as each one of the bikes were unloaded off of the trucks had me super excited. My eyes tracking the bikes back and forth like a tennis match. Each of them were rolled into formation and prepped to be put out into the wild.
We are on literally the 2024 Shark Skin Road Glide. Boy, I promise you, these bikes are something else, y'all. Woo!
Stopping along the coast, I got a chance to look at this beauty in direct sunlight. This shark skin blue is one of the coolest colors I've ever seen on a Harley. It's like a bubblegum snowball on a hot summer day, and it looks so good, you can practically taste it.
The bike is very peppy. Very, very, very peppy. The bar position is phenomenal.
And at times, this bike has put me in a trance, almost like a dream, as the road unfolded like the sheets off a toddler's bed. This bike, with its style and class, allows me to embrace the snaking road of the highway, feeling the lean of the bike with the reduced weight, enhancing the connection of man and machine. After getting the chance to ride this bike along one of the most beautiful highways, I feel like I have a greater appreciation for the two wheels in which I travel on. 2024 will definitely continue to be the year of the great American touring.
All right, there you have it. That was just GQ's video. If you want to see the whole video, make sure you go over to his channel and check it out. Phenomenal job on that video, GQ.
Yes.
I appreciate
No problem, no problem. So we'll start off with you, GQ. What was your thoughts about actually riding the standard model?
Big bump up from 107 to 114. So like the 117, you can definitely feel the pull in it. You can definitely feel how light the bike is. I believe they said they dropped about 16 pounds from this model, the redesigned model, over the previous year's model. And you can, when I say you can feel it, like you can really feel it. One thing that wasn't necessarily standard per se was an add-on option was the what was called the RDRS, but I believe they renamed it to it's a bunch of different things. But the cornering traction control, just the rear traction control, all of those different safety features, they're all standard on all of the new models now. So I think that that's a pretty cool option. Great bike, welcome additions, and I encourage everybody to get out and go at least check it out. You see a lot of people online and in the forums and talking about, oh, it looks like this, it looks like that. I say just go and check it out for yourself. Throw a leg over it, get a test ride, and you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I would have to agree because I went up Friday and did a test ride up at my dealership. I just dropped the video today at 4 on my channel. So if you want an in-depth review on that as well, go check it out. But man, so I want to ask you one thing. The first thing that I noticed, what did you think about the seat?
Oh, I personally, I think the seats are terrible. That's just me. I don't like the seats.
Okay.
You gotta think about this. I'm a person who who lives with long distance touring. That is my thing. I love to just get on and ride these bikes for 8, 10, 12, 14-hour days straight. The seat, while better than previous versions, is still not, in my opinion, super comfortable after 5 hours.
Okay.
My opinion. Maybe I just have just a little bony side, but I mean, the same with it when I test rode the CVO. I was one of the first things I know. I was like, I don't like the seat. It's it looks good, it's well made, but I don't think that I would keep it on there personally for a long distance travel.
Okay. Yeah, my initial thought was it was comfortable as heck, man. Like it's super soft compared to my CVO seat. Q knows what I'm talking about. And so does Robert. So what do you guys think about the just the standard models, John?
Yeah, it's really nice. I was curious, Ricky, what color was that? The Road Glide you were riding? What color was that?
The shark skin.
Oh, that was shark skin. Okay.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean it's really nice. I mean, I'm a Road Glide guy, but I think everybody knows I love the new body design. I love that the TFT's on there. And I don't know if a lot of people know they do have the 117 now, but the 24 117, because I got the spec sheet from Harley, the 24 117 has, I believe, 3 to 5%, I forgot which one it is, more horsepower than the previous year 117. So I mean, the 117 is a great platform, even just to throw like a stage 2 on it, cam it, and throw a set of pipes on it. You know, you get a lot of power, a lot of torque. I mean, all in all, the suspension's upgraded. It's a better suspension than previous year, even though it's not the inverted fork. So it has a lot going for it. And again, I just love the new body lines, you know?
Right. Q, what do you think about the new ones from what you've seen so far?
Yeah, well, I love the colors. I think the colors look fantastic. Like John said, I think that 117, I think that's pretty cool because compared to the 121 that's on my 23, the 117, I believe you're going to have more options to build it up. Because there's not as many. Actually, I don't think there is a cam available for the 121 BBT, and I don't know if it has to do with the BBT or not. But I think that 117 and even the motor that's in the CVO ST, I think you're going to have a lot more options with those than what's currently available for the BBT. But I think I really love the way the new bikes look. I think they always do a nice job with the paints, and the paints this year, in my opinion, are just they just have a lot more character to them. It's not just a flat color. So I think they look really nice. I think they did a phenomenal job with that. The thing that is interesting to me is like on the standard models, they come with the same screen, and I kind of flipped through the screens on both of them, and it looks like all the same features are there. But the navigation, you actually have, I guess it comes on all of the standard bikes, but you have to pay an additional 350 some odd
Mm.
dollars
Yeah.
to turn on the navigation in the standard bikes, where on the CVOs, it's already on. So that was different.
Yeah, and we're going to be that's going to be one of the questions that we're gonna talk about there with that
My
subscription. No, you're good, man. Right. Q always heckling and ruining stuff. Geez, I tell you. Robert, what are your thoughts on just the standard model?
We can't call him Q in this because every time you say Q, just GQ's eyes go like this. I said, no.
Oh, yeah, my fault. I forgot we got two Qs in here. All right, I'll start calling you riding and wrenching.
Well, first I'm going to say that blue, that shark skin, I guess that's what it's called. That's beautiful, man. I haven't even seen it in person, but just looking at it on the screen. And again, I think that color is appealing because it's going to contrast anything black on the bike. Anything chrome too, but definitely black. It's also, well, not important, but I just want to point out there's no more standards. So all you have to do is say street glide or road glide. That's it. I foresaw the body styles coming down anyway. The only thing I was looking at was what was going to be different. I knew everything about the body was going to be the same because clearly that's going to be the design moving forward. So because of that, I knew the big screen was coming. So, and I knew the controls were coming, like all of that stuff that I think means the most to people coming. Now, I didn't know it was going to just be one model and that you can build it up. And I think that was just great. So I don't want to get too much into that because I don't know what questions you have, but I'm just going to say, based on what I've seen and based on what I know right now, I'm pleased.
Okay. All right. So now we'll move on to the Road Glide ST, and I'll try to get out of that habit of saying Road Glide Standard because all these years they've had the different models, the special, the CVO. So, all right. So I got another video cut together for that with John, and I will preface this with I pretty much laughed the entire time I was putting this video together. It was great. So, all right, let's check it out.
What an amazing day. We're here at Lake Norman here in North Carolina. We're going to give you guys the first ride review video on the 2024 Harley Davidson Road Glide CVO ST models. There's just so many things that are different on this bike. This has to be the most beautiful Harley Davidson I've ever seen as far as a production model goes. Puts out 127 horsepower and 145 foot-pounds of torque. This bike also is coming in at only 800 pounds. Oh wow, that's fast. Feels really good. Throttle feels snappy. I love this bar setup. Holy cow, the front end jumped up. Oh wow, this baby moves, man. Yeah, yeah, baby. So nimble, so nimble. Whoa. Yeah, buddy.
All right, John. throughout that entire video. It was just laughing the whole time. You're like a little kid because it's so awesome and it cracked me up. So, John, what are your thoughts about the CVOST?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I have anything bad to say about it. Honestly, the only thing a lot of people are asking me, like, what would you change on it? I would have to say probably the windshield because I'm tall. So I would go with like a taller windshield, get that wind off my helmet, off my face. Definitely, like Ricky said, definitely a different seat. Not only it's a beautiful seat on both of the models, but just something a little more a different design. I like my Saddleman, so I'd throw that on. Maybe something like what I have on Mad Max now. Other than that, I mean, I'm gonna say I would probably not touch it, but knowing how I am, I'd probably cam it and 2-to-1 exhaust on it. But that's probably the furthest I would go on it, and then just keep everything else because the bike is just the power is great, the suspension's great, the braking's phenomenal, the looks are beautiful, the TFT display. I mean, yeah, I mean, I really couldn't think of anything like really bad to say about it. But again, we only rode it for a couple hours. You're definitely like any bike, Q knows, he's got, and Rob knows, with the new CVOs, you'd have to own one to really see, how it is, have to live with one for a while. But for what I've seen, I mean, I love the bike. I can't say anything bad about it.
Yeah, I think that's been the most popular one for the release. GQ, what do you think about that?
But which part in particular?
Just overall, what do you think of the ST?
I didn't get a chance to ride the ST, but my biggest I guess things about both of those bikes is kind of like what John said with the windshield and the seat. That's probably be the things that I would change. What I do like about the ST, the crash bars, they're different, and if you go down, it almost reminds me of like my sport bike days when we had frame sliders. And so if the bike goes down, then you can just kind of take that little end off, looks like a little skateboard wheel, and replace that. Unless I'm just looking at something totally different. But I think that's cool. One thing that I'm not sure that people will or people will have to get creative with is you're not able to mount right now tour packs on the ST without some modification. I think there's a bracket they're going to release pretty soon to allow you to mount the tour packs. But other than that, I think it's a slick bike.
Yeah. Then what are you thinking about riding and wrenching? You gonna get one?
No. Well, actually, I'm not. Well, probably not. But I saw the ST, and I love the carbon fiber touches on it. The fender and whatever that thing is, where the passenger pavilion would be. It looks really, really nice. It looks spectacular, and I thought that the white one would automatically be my favorite. But I'm telling you, the black on that ST is out of this world. It looks really, really good. You have to see it in person. Looking at it on Harley's website and all the media that they've sent out doesn't do it justice. It looks really good in person. I would do the black one. I would absolutely do that black one.
Okay. Yeah, I heard that black paint's really deep with metallic and stuff, so I'm excited to see one of those too.
But interestingly, the seat. Now I haven't had. I saw one, but haven't had an opportunity to ride it. But the seat actually feels a little bit softer than the stock seat that was on my CVO, my 23. Now that might be a little bit deceptive, but like GQ mentioned earlier, the stock seat on my CVO. I mean, it would be kind to say that it sucks for long distance riding. But that S. I mean, I don't know if it's the same material that's in that CVO ST. feels a little bit softer. So for whatever that's worth.
Robert, we all know that you already released a video. You pretty much sold on getting one. So what do you think about it?
Rob probably already has it. It's probably in his garage already.
No, no.
Show us that garage.
Yeah.
So I'll have a more accurate opinion about it after we come back from Vegas when I've actually seen it and rode it. Like Mike is saying, he didn't know that the black would be that nice until he saw it in person. So he's labeled that his favorite, but he hasn't seen the white in person. So, we'll see. And in my opinion, that white one, like I said, everything pops out. Even that ridiculously large air cleaner. Now the red and stuff that's on it, because it's black, it's, you know what I mean? Everything's a focal point now because of the contrast. But what Just GQ was talking about, I'm only going to discuss stuff I know. The new engine guards, I love that, and for the same reason he said, because all you have to do is unscrew the tip of it and put a new one on. Like, that's not new; it's new to Harley though, on a stock motorcycle. And I said this in the video that I put out, titled, the thumbnail was titled "Damn It," because I saw a picture of that ST before it came out, and I didn't even pay attention to it because I thought that it was a mocked up one. Like, I thought somebody put some modifications on it. I had no clue. It came with the rotors done already and the carbon fiber pieces and those engine guards. It's 800 pounds. So listen, I was already saying the 23 CVO was like, oh my gosh, so flickable. I got that term from John, by the way. So flickable. But the bike was, and so if I hear this bike is even lighter than that, and new handlebars. I don't know how they feel. I know I would change them. I think right now we're kind of in the window, and now all the Harley is. First it was just CVO people, but we're in the window now of waiting for aftermarket stuff to be available. And once that happens, and it is going to happen quicker for Harley Davidson. Once that happens, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I wouldn't touch anything." Yeah, you're going to start changing some stuff, minimal stuff maybe, but right now, it's very rare for me to look at something from Harley Davidson right out the gate and say, I love it, right? I really like what I'm seeing. And of course, John helps with that. I respect his opinion. I value his opinion. And if John tells me to buy one, then he's just going to be telling me to buy one. But I'll listen to him seriously.
Yeah. I kind of wish that I waited to get my CVO before they released that ST, man. 'Cause, man, that thing just looks so good in the pictures. I can't wait to see one of those in person and test ride it.
What's the issue? It's just a conversation.
Yeah, well, listen, Robert. Yeah, I put my wife through enough. I've got 3 different bikes in the past year.
Well, but that's only if you're trying to keep this one. You just got to get rid of it. That's all.
His wife would kill him.
Yeah, I think we're gonna chill out for a little while. I'm gonna enjoy the
That's
CVO.
Right.
You know.
That's right. That's right.
Because his wife would kill him.
Well, Q. I mean,
yeah.
He said, "Well, you left him speechless."
I got nothing. No comment. No comment. All right, guys. Next question here. All right. Question number 4. Do you guys think it was a good idea for Harley to carry over like I don't even know if I'm saying this right, like the 2023 CVO style over to just the Road Glide and Street Glide models now, like the 2024 ones?
It was inevitable.
Yeah, they have to.
It was a great idea. I mean, I've said before, when I went to the museum out in Milwaukee, I was looking at a 1976 Road King, and from the front, I couldn't tell you what year that motorcycle was. It could have been a 2021. At some point, it has to change, and that's why John and I going out there to do that, to participate in the reveal of that motorcycle for the video for Harley Davidson. That's one of the reasons it meant so much to me, because I knew how big this was. This was a totally different design, so it was an absolute good idea, and I think that it's going to do well moving forward for Harley Davidson.
Yeah. What do you think, Riding and Wrenching?
Yeah, I saw Rip It On 2. He just bought him a 24 Road Glide, and I think they look great. I mean, again, I think it was inevitable that they were going to do it. I like the way they did it, and it just like every other Harley, it gives people an opportunity, to start customizing it and doing whatever updates they want to do, and so be interested to see what he's going to do with his. But no, I think it was inevitable, and I think it's good for everybody because that larger population of bikes being out there, the accessory market is eventually going to catch up. And when they do, again, everybody wins. So no, I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm happy about that as well because
Yeah,
right now there's hardly any accessories that you can put on the new ones, but they're
yeah.
still trickling in. I saw Custom Dynamics; they released that badass headlight. I mean that thing looks awesome. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
No, I didn't see it. And think about this.
Oh,
Your other question when you were asking about how do we feel about road glide and street glide now, aka the standards. We're
mm.
not having a conversation anymore about incandescent bulbs, are we?
Right? Yeah,
And
yeah,
I knew we wouldn't be because I knew there was going to be the same design. So there's no place to put an incandescent bulb. So kudos to them for that.
yeah.
So I'll be getting that headlight, Joe, soon.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that thing looks
I'll be
awesome.
putting it on my bike. It looks pretty. It's even brighter than the double X that I have on there now.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know they had a new light out.
Hold up, is it for what?
Yeah, it
The old
looks
road
like
glide?
I don't want to talk about their competitor, but it looks like a certain type of which is super popular now for like performance baggers. It's kind of looks separate too, but it almost looks like a honeycomb, right?
That's going to be for the new style, for the new body.
For the Road Glide and for the new body, they got a bunch of new stuff coming out. So, but as soon as I get my headlight, I'll put it on and show you guys.
Yeah, they released it on their Instagram. They did a little reel that it was coming soon.
Oh.
Man, yeah, I'm
I'll be
interested.
surprised if they can make a light that's bright. I mean, I think the stock light on my CVO is amazing. It's
Yeah,
really,
it's bright,
really
man.
bright. I mean,
Yeah.
it's phenomenal. I'm curious to see if any of the aftermarket can come up with something that's better. I mean, it may be different, but I don't know how it's going to be better. It's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Right. And GQ, so you kind of fell off there for a second, so I don't want to leave you out. The question was, do you think it was a good idea for Harley to carry over the 23 CVO style over to the Road Glide and the Street Glide to the 2024?
It was it's inevitable. It was going to happen. And I think that it's you need to start like, and I think they're doing it now. They're condensing things, and I think that's better for the motor company as now they can focus on like we got this, we got this, we got this, not 50 million different motors, 50 million different body styles. We have this is what it is right now, and now we can focus on making that better. However, I'm anxious, very, very anxious to see. And me, I'm a person who does a lot of touring. I ride an ultra limited. When will the new body style hit the ultra, or will they come up with a new body style for the ultra limited, or how is that going to be put together? Because we don't have the radiator, the use for the radiator anymore, or lowers, or will they find a way to attach lowers because we don't have the traditional engine guards anymore. We have the mustache guards. So will they be able to come up with a lower that fits that, or will the um, ultras, the new ultras, come with the older crash bar and they figure out a way to make a newer style lower for that. So that's what I'm extremely anxious to see carry over.
Right. Yeah. You bring up a good point of that because I was pretty surprised that they didn't carry that over to the Ultras.
I can answer that for you right now.
Go for it, Rob.
It's not going to be a new body style. It's going to be the same body style. It's just going to be in the ultra fashion. They're going to put the old engine guard on because you can't see it anyway, so it really doesn't matter what it looks like. And they're just going to do everything. As a matter of fact, right now on the CVOs, I forget which screen it is, but if you go into it, it's an option for like fog lights. Now, clearly, we don't have a use for that now. That's going to be for the ultra.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
It's
surprised, like the tour packs that are available for the new CVOs, they look just like the old tour packs. So I was
mhm.
expecting, since they changed the design and style of the saddlebags, then you'd have a new
Hmm.
design for the tour packs as well. But they haven't done that. Maybe that will happen, if they come up with the new Road Glide Limited, because they carried over the Road Glide Limited from last year to this year, which is interesting, because that's I don't know, I guess that's leftover inventory or something, I suppose. I don't know. But yeah, I want to see them do something different with the tour pack.
We weren't talking about the road glide. We're talking about a street glide, a Batwing fairing.
The
That's what
what?
we're talking
The
about.
who? They still make those?
oh my
Why?
gosh.
Well, either one,
For
either
what
one.
purpose? Everybody's talking about Road Glide. Everybody agrees with me, finally. After all of these years, I've been trying to tell the world that the Road Glide's the best bike that Harley Davidson makes, and now everybody agrees, because that's all we're talking about is the Road Glide.
Well, think
It's
about it.
okay.
It's because you're talking. It's because you're
It's the best
talking.
looking bike.
It's because you're talking. Whoa, 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 whoa! You said it was
It's
the
the
It
best.
best
is.
look.
It is
It's,
now.
it's the
It is
best
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
looking.
yeah.
It
That's
always
what I'm
has been.
saying.
It always
You
has
can't.
been.
It's like you were talking about an ugly person for years, saying they were pretty, and they finally they lost weight and got plastic surgery. And now,
Now,
and that's what happened. They lost
now
weight and they got
we,
plastic
we,
surgery.
we're going to have to drag you out of that parking lot, take you on the road on that street glide you have, and see how you feel after a few hours.
You keep moving. You keep moving the goalposts. You said
I am a
best
moving goalpost,
looking.
because
You
the
said
Road Glide's
best
the best bike
looking.
they make, hands down.
You
All right,
said best
let's have a
looking.
vote. I think let's have a vote. Road Glide's the best. So get my hand in the picture there. Anybody? Anybody gonna join me? I got 2, 3. We win.
23, 2023 and up.
Yeah, 23 and up.
Jeez Louise.
If we're talking about the way it looks, if we're talking about the way it looks,
The way it
23.
Yeah.
looks, the way it rides, everything about the Road Glide's phenomenal.
Yeah. Keith Blaston is asking, what do you guys think about the affordability? Isn't it getting out of hand? Vid Black and Chrome forever.
So
Inflation, man.
my
I
re-
go
go
ahead.
ahead,
Go ahead.
Rick.
So MSRP 25.9 for just the base model, without any special colors and things like that. I think if you get you have a great relationship with a dealer who is really trying to cater to their market and their base, they're gonna give you a good price on it. You're getting so much more bike, in my opinion, now than you did
Mm-hmm.
previously at a comparable price point.
Right.
So you had specials going out of the door like 32 ish, 33,000 bucks, with a 114. You got a 117 updated body style, and even if you add, colors and a few accessories, I still, if you can, work those numbers, you can still come out on top. So I think, in my opinion, it's a little more affordable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna piggyback on what Just GQ said, because I agree with that. But that's special. You're walking out of the door with a 114 engine, over 30 grand, and that's giving you stuff you may not even want. You might be taking some of that stuff off. So if you could just buy it as it comes at $26,000, I think that's great, because um, you can add stuff to it whenever you want, but at least right out that door, it's 26,000. And it's funny you should have this as a question, Joe, because I'm actually going to do a video on this topic. My opinion about this whole thing is it's it's pointless, and I think it's ridiculous to ever complain about the price of a toy. Now we're going to talk about rent, mortgage, clothing, bread, milk. That stuff, these are necessities. College, we can complain about those things, but a motorcycle, like, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was telling me, well, now, the base model used to be like 22,000. So now that it's 26, that one guy that has 2 kids, he can't buy a motorcycle. What do you think my response to this friend was? He's got higher responsibility. He's got more responsibilities now than a motorcycle. He's got 2 children, 2 brand new human beings. And listen, at the end of the day, if you still want a motorcycle, you just want the wind in your face. It doesn't have to be a Harley Davidson or an Indian, because those motorcycles are not far apart when it comes to cost. If you want a touring motorcycle, you're going to pay about $30,000, $40,000, depending on what it is. So if that's not something you want to buy, you can just buy a Goldwing, right? I think a Goldwing's like 20 something $1,000. Am I correct?
For now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
right.
mean, but at the end of the day, we have to really think about this and get our priorities together. We're talking about a toy. It's a motorcycle, and right now Harley Davidson is, I think, branding themselves as a premium brand, right? So if it's premium, it's not supposed to be in a price range where most things are not in the price range where everybody can get it. But the beauty is, if people really want something, they're gonna find a way to make it happen. Like, I know people that will finance a motorcycle for 8, 9 years, and then you'll have somebody say, "Oh my God, that's ridiculous." Listen, mind your business. It's their money. You do what you want to do. Whatever makes you happy. And once you get on that motorcycle and the way you feel, you can deal with the financial part of it later. But YOLO, baby, YOLO. You only live once.
Right.
Inflation. I mean, it's going to be, everything has gotten more expensive,
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way of the world, but you don't have to buy a new motorcycle either. You get
Mm-hmm.
something that's a couple of years older and get all of the benefit. I mean, you're going to see a
Right.
whole bunch of the 23 CVOs in the dealership now that are going to be a whole lot less than they were last year. There
Mm-hmm.
are people paying a $15,000 dealer markup, paying upwards of $50,000, and those motorcycles are going to be sitting on the showroom floor in the 30s. So just wait 1 year, you'll be fine. Oh,
Right.
and someone asked me, I'm taking 2 bikes down to Pensacola. Someone asked me what bike am I going to take. I can't say which ones.
Oh, okay.
Check out his channel.
The suspense.
This
All right,
is
fellas. So we're about halfway through the stream. So as I mentioned before, this stream's sponsored by BrakeFree. So I have a little promo video to play for them, and then we'll be right back.
When you're riding on 2 wheels, there's one rule you can't ignore. If they can't see you, they can't avoid you. That's why we have to do everything we can to be more visible while we're out on the road. In this video, I'm gonna unbox and review the BrakeFree Smart Brake Light. Let's talk features for a second. This light is special because it's completely wireless. You don't need to use any apps or connect it via Bluetooth to use it. So how does it work? It has sensors in it so it knows when you're braking or slowing down. This is great because sometimes we use engine braking to slow down. That means we're not using our brakes, so our taillights aren't going on. This will give the motorists behind you a heads up that you're slowing down. It has a rechargeable battery that's supposed to last 8 to 12 hours depending on which mode you have it in. This light is IP65 waterproof and weighs in at 7 ounces, so it's really light. For the light itself, it has 100 LEDs and it's a single 1-button operation, so they keep it simple. We have the light all mounted to the helmet, now we have to test it. Let's roll, baby.
Okay guys, we are on the bike. Let's test this bad boy out. Downshifting should illuminated. All right, now I'm slowing down with the brakes. Making a left. Okay, so now we're coming up to the stop sign. We're gonna do a hard stop. Should have blinked. All right, now we're gonna do some head movements to see if this thing's gonna blink or not. They claim that it won't, so we'll move my head up and down, side to side and stuff. All right, now I'm rolling off the throttle. All right, guys, that was the ride test.
As you just saw, this light works exactly as advertised. So what do I think about it? This is a fantastic product. Not only does it look cool, it adds an extra layer of safety.
To everybody. All right, there you have it. BrakeFree. I highly recommend this product. I mean, it's one of the few products I recommend that I 100% use it every time that I ride. And I have a promo code that you can use to get you $10 off of your purchase. Just use promo code JOGO, get that $10 off, and get one. You won't regret it. So, all right, guys, got that out of the way. Let's see. Okay, so my next question, I have another quick video cut together for this. Our thoughts on the Pan America CVO. They came out with that. I personally wasn't really expecting a CVO version of the Pan America. So here's a quick video of, if you guys haven't seen it. right, there it is. And before we get everybody's opinion, I just want to shout out Keith Blackson for the $9.99 super chat. And here is your sound effect for that.
Super chats.
Nice, Keith. Nice.
Appreciate it. All right, so let's start off with GQ. What do you think about the Pan America CVO?
I don't know much about it as far as like specs, how it differs from the previous CVO models. I do like the paint. And I've seen online, especially on Instagram, where the Pan America community has been going crazy as far as like paint jobs and truly like customizing them. So I think that's pretty cool. I would love to get my hands on one, but living in Louisiana is pretty flat. All we have is some swamp down here. So I mean, if there's a swamp mode, I would definitely like to get it out. But yeah, I think Harley has done a great job reaching out to the ADV community, including or giving those riders an option, as opposed to any other brands that like the KTM's and things like that and the BMWs. I think that was a good strategic move, in my opinion, by Harley. And I just like to see where it continues to go from there. Although I thought there was going to be the 975 was going to come out this year.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people were expecting that too. I mean, the Pan America, believe it or not, I mean, they've gotten a heck of a lot of good reviews on people that do that kind of riding. I owned one for a couple weeks. It was great for a couple weeks. This thing's got so much power, man. Like I had a hard time keeping it going the speed limit because it's so much fun. John, what do you think about the CVO Pan America?
Yeah, as far as the Pan America, it's a great bike. Ridden one, had one for a couple days. Very fast motorcycle. I have not seen the new CVO. Paint looks good from what I've been looking at online through the pictures and stuff. Yeah, I'd like to take a look at it in person. Yeah, I really don't have much to.
Oh. We lost him. Well, I must have made him mad with that question. He said, "I'm on."
When he comes back, ask him who provides his Wi-Fi.
Okay.
There he is.
Sorry, I don't know why it keeps kicking me out. No idea why.
I think it's showing that your Wi-Fi signal is a little low.
I'm right next to the router. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you're full signal.
You got fiber, John?
Oh yeah, I got like Verizon, top of the line, baby.
Yeah, but you got it.
It's like my Wi-Fi is like a new CVO ST.
Oh man. Riding and wrenching. What do you think about the Pan America? Just your initial thoughts.
I don't get it, to be honest with you. But I mean, I know some people, will want to have that. I've ridden the Pan America. I like the bike, but I don't do that type of riding, and I don't get the connection between the Pan America and CVO. I don't understand it, but I guess they've done some market research to tell them that it's going to sell. So, hopefully they're right. I like the paint job. I think the paint job looks fantastic. In terms of the motorcycle itself, like everyone else said, they're fast. I mean, it's an amazing motorcycle, but it's, to me, it's it's a non-Harley type of bike because it's a different type of bike than anything else that Harley sells. And so it's just interesting, CVO of a Pan America. It's a little weird to me.
Yeah. What do you think, Robert?
Again, I haven't seen it in person. It looks good. I've always liked the way especially certain Pan Americas. I like the way they look. I've ridden one. I wouldn't buy one. However, I do understand why they came out with a CVO version, and it could just be, let's see how it goes this year. And even if they're not selling a bunch of them, somebody's going to buy it. There's always going to be somebody that's going to buy a CVO. You put CVO on it, they're going to buy it. It's custom vehicle operations, and people like that. It's exclusivity. Somebody said to me, "Why would you do that to a bike that you ride in the dirt?" listen, once somebody buys that bike, they're going to do what they want to do with it. So you're thinking that way because you get a CVO and you think, and I say you, I'm talking about whoever thinks that. You're thinking how you would ride a usual CVO and take care of it, baby it. Listen, when I first started my YouTube channel, people thought I was crazy because I was doing slow speed maneuvers on a CVO. And my
Mhm.
thing was, it's a motorcycle. So, but I do want to see one in person. And I just think it's a good idea. Why not?
Yeah, and I think it'll sell too. As far as you said, like people will buy it if it's a Harley. The live wire, people bought that, but it didn't do so hot. But
Mm-hmm.
people still bought it.
Yeah.
They got to test out the market.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's go to question number 7 here. Now, upon this release, was there any changes that you're hoping for that didn't happen? We could start
Yep.
off with. Go ahead, GQ.
Of course, the biggest one was the inverted forks on the standard models. I think that was probably the biggest omission. I would have thought that more things would have come down, but you have to have some type of separation from your CVOs outside of like paint and stuff like that. So I understand it, but I thought that was going to happen also. And I may be blind, but I don't think there's speakers in the lids of the CVO ST.
Correct.
Yeah, there isn't.
I would have thought that because I mean, when you think about the performance bagger community and things like that, a lot of those guys, I mean, they like to rock out. I mean, they listen to music just like any other, like that. So I would have thought that they would have put that in the bags, but can't have it
I
all.
think they didn't because they're trying to lose as much weight as possible.
That's
That's
right.
that's probably why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to use a headset to get
Yeah.
that music.
That's
John,
part of it. That's definitely part of it. I mean, you can get them. It's $2,500, as an
Right.
add-on. But I think they did it smart too, because again, the first thing people look at with these motorcycles are the numbers. I'm not talking about the power numbers. They look at that too. They look at the price. So if you look at the price of that ST CVO Road Glide ST, 42, not let's say 43,000. That was the same MSRP as the CVO last year, right? 42,999. And so here's what they did that I think it's smart. They took the speakers out because it's going to make that bike lighter. Now there are going to be some people that want to buy that bike strictly for the performance, so the weight of that bike is going to matter. So if the people that want speakers, like I said, they can add it. If you add the cost of those speakers to the ST, now you're around the same price as the 2024 CVO Road Glide and Street Glide. What is it? 44,499, right? So it's a give and take. If you want the luxury of a CVO, then you get the CVO, period. If you want the sport version of the CVO, then you're going to lose some stuff. You're going to lose the heated grips. You're going to lose the power locking bags, and you're going to lose the speakers in the lid. But all those things are still doable. You can just add them on. So I think they did it smart to keep the price. Everything is kind of close, so people can still get it.
Oh, watch the mic there.
Yeah.
John,
Uh-oh.
don't throw your router out the window just yet. I just saw your comment on there. So you might not want to compare your internet to the Road Glide CVOST. Might put out a wrong message there. So now that
Listen, I was just on a live stream the other day. It was fine. What are you doing to me? Are you doing this purpose? On purpose?
I don't know.
You're probably
Maybe.
clicking off. Yeah. Just like Rob just said. I mean, in order to keep the price down, they just let's talk about the ST first. We were riding, and I, leaned over to Matt. I said, heated grips. He said no. So it's like it's like they can't give you everything, because then the price point will be higher than a standard CVO. Then it wouldn't make sense, right? So now, just like if you take the standard model, I mean, they're not going to give you the inverted fork and the better suspension and just everything, because the price point's not going to be at 26, 27, 28. So it's a give and take, like Rob's saying, right? So they have to give you the TFT. They got to give you the new body design, because that all goes together, right? So what are they going to leave out? They put the 117 in. They're going to leave out a few things, So it's a give and take. If they left the better suspension on and the better braking, which that goes hand in hand, there's then they would have to add probably another $6,000-7,000 to the motorcycle. So now the price is close to 40. So at that point, now might as well just go for an ST. So it's a give and take. I think what they did with the standard is perfect. You got the 117. Mm-hmm. You could definitely get a lot of power, like a stage 2 on that. My buddy's got the 117 with a stage 2, pushing like 129 horse, 133 torque at the rear wheel. Great power numbers. You have the new body design. You have the new TFT. Like GQ said, you have the traction control, intern traction control, ABS, all the goodies, I mean, and you do have a better suspension. It's not the same suspension as last year's. So I think it's like, don't forget, my standard on a 22 came with a 107.
Right.
Yeah. So they did add a lot. You're still getting a lot for, honestly, almost the same price point where a standard was last year. So you really can't fault them for what they did. I don't think so.
You really can. I mean, if you really sit down and think about this, they did it. They did a really good job. So on the road glide and the street glide, $26,000, right? But you have a bunch of options. And if you go to the website on the right side of the screen, you can see all of the options. And I went in there and just picked what I would pick. And I was at like 30 grand. That's excellent, right? So they did the same thing for the ST. They don't have certain things, but you can add it. And I just think that's great. It's good to have options rather than them just putting it on the motorcycle for everybody, and not everybody has to pay that high price, even though it might be something they could have done without. They can't take it off the bike once it's on there. So I really like the way that they're doing this now. And it's going to be a lot of older style motorcycles in these dealerships. You're going to see, because when they see these bikes in person, it's just like anything else. When I came home from California, when John and I rode those CVOs for the first time, every bike in my garage looked long in the tooth. Especially the screen. I was like, oh
man. Oh,
yeah. That screen is something.
If the price of these bikes had gone up the way the price of a pack of bacon had gone up, I think they'd probably be $60,000 or $70,000. I think Harley did a phenomenal job keeping the price down. I don't know what they had to do to make that happen. Obviously things like what they did with the navigation system. I get it. They had to cut costs somewhere. And I imagine, I don't know, maybe there's other things like that. I don't know. But
and another thing, like they're still, and we got to understand, they're still putting them together here in America,
right?
Which is unbelievable. Whereas other manufacturers, they're jumping ship and they're sending everything. KTM just did, sending everything over to China. So you got to give them credit for that. Obviously that's why people are, having their motorcycles manufactured in other countries, because it costs them 1/100th of what it costs to make a motorcycle here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you got to look at all that,
That's right.
Yeah.
But most people don't want to look at all of these things. They just want to complain. We don't do complaints on Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. We just don't do it.
You know what it is, Rob? Like someone just said, I forgot where it was, but they're like, the ones that complain don't have the money to begin with to buy one. And I don't have money to buy a lot of things. Mm-hmm. Like I look at a Lamborghini, but I don't say it's a piece of shit. Right. It's a beautiful car, but you know what I tell myself? I said, maybe I wish I could have one day. I'll if I want it, I'll work hard to get it. But I'm not going to sit there and say, complain about it, that it's a piece of garbage and this and that. But that's just like, the mentality of people these days,
Oh, but here's another one, right? Now
They would say gold. They would say gold is garbage. You know what I mean?
I'm actually going to be talking about some of the points I'm going to talk about in this video. But, here's another thing. Somebody will say $40,000 for a motorcycle. It should have this. Should. You hear the word should all the time. I don't live in should. I never have. I'm a realist. I live in the reality of the way things are. So we have to think about it this way. Remember I said Harley Davidson is branding themselves as a premium brand? Okay. So I give you a perfect example. My truck outside, it's a GMC truck, 2024. It's got a heated steering wheel and a heads-up display. Beautiful. No big deal. A lot of vehicles have that. My wife has a Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy. Heated steering wheel, heads-up display. Now, the truck's like $95,000. The Palisades, I think, like 50-something thousand. My Mercedes S-Class, $130,000 car. No heated steering wheel, no heads-up display. But it should have that at that price, right? Yeah, you can get it, but you got to pay for it. It's an extra. And that's my point. If it's a premium brand, they don't have to give you certain things. Other brands will give it to you because they have to stay appealing, right? So I look at this from so many different ways. And I always come back to the same thing. One of it is what John said. People that can't really afford stuff are going to complain about the cost of it. But that's why I always circle back to it's a toy. Don't complain about the price of a toy.
Yeah. So was there anything that you guys expected that didn't come out?
That was the question, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I was actually disappointed, believe it or not. I thought they were going to come out with a smaller CC adventure bike. And a lot of people I talked to, a lot of people I know, we were really hoping for one to come out.
Okay. Yeah, this is funny, man. If we had this same conversation a year ago, 2 years, 3 years, 4, I'd have a list of the things I'm disappointed about. And at the top would have been incandescent bulbs. Now, I don't have anything to complain about because they've given so much that I think that, it's good. It's good. All you can do is move forward. Now, again, like Mike said, once the aftermarket stuff starts, because I heard you guys talking about the seat sucking, there's not a whole lot of choices for the seats yet. But once that picks up, like I think, did you guys see the video from Clockworks? He's gonna have he's gonna have a new windshield for the CVOs available at Daytona, and he also has four fenders, and one of them looks really nice. It's color matched to the gray one.
Yeah, I've seen the fenders.
Yeah. So it's nice. So you want to check that out too if you're going to be in Daytona. If you
One thing that and this is a lot of people I talk to, especially in the motorcycle club community, we really love Road Kings, and not having a CVO Road King since what was that 2013 was the last year for a CVO Road King. I think there's a big market for the CVO Road King. Now, what does that redesign look like? I don't know, because the Road King is such a iconic, stylish. It has a certain look. What can you do to make it CVO ish without other than adding speakers and lowers and things like that? So that's something that I'm still count down the days till I hear catch win a CVO Road King.
I said
if the Pan America. So.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I said if they come out with a CVO Road King, I would get it. Well, now the difference between the Pan America is, because just GQ makes a good point, even in 13, really all you can do is the paint and maybe something with the gauges. There's not much else you can do because it doesn't have a lot of surface stuff to mess with. But they could do the tank overs, like the new tanks, the bags. So yeah, they could. Yeah, they definitely could. That's interesting. I didn't even think about the Road King.
I mean, unless they came out with a totally revamped new front fairing, which they do have aftermarket fairings, and just make a totally different look of it.
The Road Kings,
That might be cool too.
the Road Kings don't have fairings. It's just a windshield.
I know that, but what I'm saying is a lot of people that have Road Kings, they get the aftermarket fairings,
Uh-huh.
and maybe come out with a totally different fairing, other than totally different looks than
Yeah.
the Road Glide fairing.
Mhm.
I don't
Right.
know,
Yeah.
because a lot of people are buying the Road King and installing aftermarket fairings.
Yeah. Yeah. Or unless they get an electric glide, but I don't know if they.
Yeah. No, my Road King, I like putting just the normal windshield on.
Me
I think
too.
it gives it a nice look instead of getting a fairing for it.
Plus, you can see the front wheel, especially when you got that high seat like you got on yours. You can look right at that front wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
Road glide people can't see the front wheel. No clue where it is.
Don't need to.
Yeah, it's funny when I got my Road Glide, and I usually ride mine up my bike lift. I
Mhm.
couldn't see where the darn wheel was, and it was a little risky getting
Yeah.
it up on there. We got it. Okay, so we'll move into question 7, and if any of you guys got to hop off early, just let me know. No feelings hurt. Um, so question 7: do you guys think Harley's making the right moves to appeal to the new generation of riders? We can start.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't
I
know
mean,
what
the
I don't know what appeals to
performance
the new
bagger, yeah, the performance bagger, era is here, and it's strong, and it's probably strongest it's ever been. If you go to any rally or, any meet and greet, bike night, anything, that's all you see out there now is, performance baggers. So I think they're listening, and I think, that's why they did the CVOST.
Yeah. What do you think, GQ?
I 100% agree. And not just with the performance bagger, just in general, just like marketing, um, the touring bikes and the sport touring bikes to a younger crowd. Um, I think they're doing a hell of a job. Nobody says, "Hey, look at that old man bike" when I pull up anymore. So that's definitely a good thing, because growing up and coming up on sport bikes, I would have never thought I would enjoy riding a touring motorcycle from Harley Davidson. I had no interest in it at all. But once you get around them, and then you get on them, and then you start riding them, and it's just like, wow. And I think Harley is playing into that, so I think they're doing a phenomenal job with that.
And here's another point
Yeah.
that definitely appeals. So I'm not even a part of the younger generation, but I appreciate it. But the younger generation, the new generation, everything is screens to them, right? That's what they're going to be accustomed to seeing, screens. So if you see gauges on anything, it's just going to look old. So that screen alone carrying down big. Notice there's no more eye poker either, and I love that. No
Oh,
eye
the
poker.
antenna.
Yeah, there's no stupid long antenna. That's so antiquated. So that's gone now. And then along with that, the body style. Like I said, this is going to be. I know what we're used to, what we're accustomed to seeing, and that's why there's some resistance to the new. A lot of people don't like change, but this new style, this is it for some time to come.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, riding and wrenching?
I don't have a high opinion of the new generation, so I don't give a damn what they think.
Well,
Just kidding.
we can't help you're so old. So
He makes a face right before he's going to talk crap. He makes a face. I know when it's coming if I can see him.
Well, I mean, if they start coming to work and doing something, maybe they could afford nice things. No, I think the new bikes. I like the way Harley's embraced technology with the new screens. I think they still have some room for growth um, with them. The system is not perfect, but it's very, very good. Um, and I think some of the things they've done will likely be attractive to the new generation, especially with their expectations being so much different than ours. they expect things to work a certain way. They expect the technology to be there. They expect the integration with your phone and all the interconnectedness and the internet and all that stuff. They expect and demand that. So, this was definitely something that Harley had to do, and they did it. And they have an opportunity. They have a platform there where they can continue to improve on it. So I'm looking forward to see what else they do with it in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
All
and
right.
more importantly,
Oh, 1 second, Robert.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you off. So GQ, he's got to run real quick. So I want to make sure that I get you on here. Where can people find you? Be like on the interwebs. Obviously, you got your art and all that stuff. So just go ahead and shout out all your stuff there.
Just GQ on all your social media platforms. That's most importantly YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and if you're looking for a treat, I do art. I just a lot of people just starting to find out about that. So you can find my art page. That is Ricky the Artist, RICKEYTHEARTIST, and you can see some artwork that I've done as well. So like this, stuff in the back. But yeah, that's me.
That's good. Nice.
Yeah, I appreciate
Cool.
you coming on, GQ. Always a pleasure, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
See you, buddy.
Peace.
Later, man.
All right. As you were saying, Robert, sorry to cut you off. I knew if I didn't cut you off there, we were going to be here for another half an hour.
That's right. I was just going to say, please hit the like button. 55 people in here. I think like 19 people liked.
Yeah, really.
And this is awesome.
I gave it
what it's doing here.
I gave it a thumbs down. This is horrible.
We expect
wow.
that.
Okay.
We expect that.
All right. I might have to scrub through my list of the Let's Go crew and get Q out of there.
Somebody out. Huh?
No, you know what I'll do? I'll take your money, but I'll keep you as like a private, so nobody can see your posts or anything.
As soon as he buys the super chat, then disconnect them.
Perfect. Oh man. All right. So did everybody answer if they think that Harley's making the right moves to the new generation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Q, you had a chance?
Yeah,
I'll say it again. I don't give a damn what the new generation thinks. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. All righty.
That's what you get for having a bad memory. You give them a chance to say it again.
Gosh. All right. So we're going to move into question 8 here. Do we have any bold predictions for 2025, or do you think everything's just pretty much going to stay the same?
Are we talking about our lives or Harley Davidson?
Well, Harley Davidson.
I predict a limited model touring motorcycle.
Okay.
That's what I predict.
What are you thinking, John?
I still think that they might come out with the smaller displacement adventure bike. A lot of people are thinking that. But as far as the touring model, I think everything's going. Yeah, like Rob just said, the limited. But I think they're going to bring the new body design into everything. But I will say next year it could be maybe the Road King year.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd be looking forward to seeing that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, but as far as everything else, I think they already have the standard, the Road Glide, Street Glide. I don't think they're going to come out with a special. I don't think there's room for that now.
No.
With the ST being there, and then you have obviously the regular CVO. So yeah, maybe a different displacement ADV and the Road King next year.
Mm-hmm.
Grandpa Q?
Yeah, I'll go along with that. I'll say, because you figure the Road King still has the older gas tank, the older saddlebags, and so you'll likely see an update for that. Or maybe we'll get what GQ asked for, the Road King CVO. That'd be pretty cool. And we should have a whole lot more accessories available from Harley Davidson as well as the aftermarket in 2025. So that's going to be pretty exciting because there are going to be so many more bikes out there with the new styling, some new seat options and windshields and whatever the aftermarket comes up with for sound system upgrades. So I think the big change is going to be with the aftermarket for next year.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And I have a prediction for 2024. I predict that Robert and John are both going to have a Road Glide ST sitting in their garage. I just have a feeling.
All right, John, what color would you get? What color ST if you were going to get one? Black or the white?
So initially, just looking at the pictures, I like the white one, but the black one looks good too. It just comes down to I'd have to look at both of them.
Yeah. In
But I agree with Robert. On the white ones, everything just kind of pops with the black contrast. I like that a lot.
I know we say you can get used to anything. I'm sitting here trying to picture in my mind a Road King without stretched bags. I don't know. I'd have to get used to that. Something about that King, with the stretch bags. I mean, I like stretch bags anyway. I like the way it wraps around the exhaust. So especially if you got tap performance with a 50 caliber pipe, it fills that hole up nicely. It's just nice. But
Go ahead. The nice thing about the standard bags is that you can see the pipe all the way down the side of the bike.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a big advantage to it. I mean, the extra space you get inside of a stretch bag is worthless. Can't do anything with it. So it's just that look from the back. But what about the look from the side? I like to be able to see those good looking tab pipes on mine as well.
Well, the thing because they change size right before the end of it. That's why seeing it from the side is not really a big deal to me. I just want to. It's all about what's going on in the back. Boom.
Right.
But but you're right though. Now, but
easy there, buddy.
With the new.
Take it easy there, buddy.
Boy, I'm going to have to blow that one up on the short 12.
Blow it up, baby. Make it short.
That's a good short for you.
But you're right. With the 50 caliber pipe with the scorched chrome, the more you can see of that, the better. Because they look beautiful. They look phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay, so the last question that I have coming up on an hour and a half, I want to respect everybody's time. Q brought this up entirely too early, always ruining stuff. But
that's what I do.
But I saw this today. I watched the video. Harley Davidson came out with a subscription for their navigation, which kind of surprised me because our CVOs, it just came with it, but now I guess we only have it for 3 years, and then after the 3 years is up, we have to subscribe in order to have updated maps and traffic and weather and stuff.
No, you don't. You have a CVO?
Not with the CVO. That's the standard Road Glide, I think.
Yeah. I watched a video from that In the Friction Zone guy.
Yeah.
He has an expiration on his Harley app showing that his navigation has to renew after 3 years.
Really?
Yeah. Based on what I heard, if you had a CVO, this didn't apply to you.
Okay. So maybe I got the info wrong.
And quite frankly, I mean, I'm only going to speak for myself. I probably used Harley Davidson's navigation system in all the years I've been riding, maybe 3 times. I don't use it anyway, so it's now the good thing about the standard motorcycles now, the Road Glide and the Street Glide, is you don't need a WIM. It has Apple CarPlay, so that's what most people use anyway. So I don't know how many people are going to actually subscribe. I'm sure some people will to have it as a backup for 3 years. If you look at the cost of it 3 years, it's not crazy, but it's free is a lot better.
Okay. Yeah, Donald Huxtep says that Indian already does this.
Does what?
Oh, really?
Does the subscription for the maps.
Listen, this is most vehicles are Apple CarPlay is going away, so the whole subscription thing is coming to everybody. So
yeah, that's crazy. What do you think about it, John?
Exactly like Rob said, I use Apple CarPlay even now on my bike, so I wouldn't use it probably anyway. I really didn't care for the older system, so I always use Apple CarPlay with Waze. So there's so many good reasons to be, especially on long trips using Waze as far as, they'll tell you where the 50 is. They'll tell you even a pothole where if there's some, debris in a road or what have you, car stopped. I think it's safer, that application, But yeah, I would use Apple CarPlay. So for me, this, that they charge for the subscription, it wouldn't really doesn't matter.
Okay. And what are your thoughts, Q? What do you think?
I've used the built-in nav on my Harleys probably a grand total of 0 times. I use my phone, so
Right.
I don't care if they take it away; they can have it. I think I understand why they did it, and it's for all the reasons I already mentioned. Inflation. They got to find a way to save money, and they probably realize the same thing that we do, that nobody uses it. So that having that map data and all that stuff available is not free to Harley Davidson. They're having to pay for it. They're paying for a feature that most of us aren't using. So yeah, I get the subscription thing so that the people that want it can get it, and those of us that don't use it, no loss.
Excellent point.
Okay.
Of
Yeah.
course.
My
Riding and renting, baby. That's
experience
what I do.
and falling on a little bit too. Anyways, as far as the navigation, I used it quite a bit because I have the more superior phone in Android, and they weren't offering Android Auto till I found that box that gives me it. But I was really surprised with the navigation. It was spot on. It didn't lag, nothing, and you can plan your own routes and send it directly to the bike, and it just worked flawlessly. I was pretty pleased with it, but not enough to pay a subscription for it.
You see the oxymoron there? I have the more superior phone that's not supported. I wonder why that is.
All right. Next topic.
You talking about Sheila or
you got 2 shorts now.
Yeah.
You talking about the new CVO, right?
The new CVO, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is not even a technology thing like the bike's old. This is a brand new bike, and they knew right off the gate. Yeah, Apple, we got you. Android
is trash.
Or kick rocks.
Oh my gosh. Whatever, guys. Don't knock it till you try it.
You know it. I know it. We all know it.
Okay. I wish GQ was still in here. I think he's an Android user.
He is, but guess what?
What?
I was having a conversation with Just GQ, and I told him I can't do it anymore. I don't want to see the green bubbles. I'm trying to send you stuff. I can't send it. So guess what he did? He called me back from an iPad. So he understands.
The green bubble of death.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I got a shout out here. We ended up getting a super chat from Roland Kindle Sr. Let me give you your sound effect here.
He got a super chat, so he'll be sending us all $5. Thank you, Roland.
He says, love all you guys' content. So when are you guys going to get together for a ride together? I think you should start in New Orleans. Just GQ would approve this message.
I am down.
Yeah, I'd like to do that too.
New Orleans is awesome. I love going there, especially if you can go when it's not summertime, when it's not 1,000 degrees out there.
Right. All right, guys. Well, that's all the questions that I got, and I don't want to keep you guys here any longer because we got playoff football. You guys are going to be heading out here pretty soon, so I will go ahead and give the floor to Robert to let us know where we can find you, all your social media and whatnot.
I don't know if you went through the chats, but just to respect the people that were here, if they asked any questions they want answered. If not, I'll see what I got to say while you're doing that.
Okay.
Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun, especially with the company that was here. I appreciate everybody that took the time to watch this during playoff football. And like my Maryland ambassador said, 6-door-74, that's Mario. He said, this stream should be called the "My Team Didn't Make the Playoffs" stream.
Oh my God, there's so much truth to that.
And he's so right. He's so right. But anyway, again, Robert Simmons, Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. Plenty of content on there. Yes, the main focus is learning how to ride these things and having fun doing so. But it's also a bunch of anything and everything. All right, guys, love you. Preload and keep it loaded.
All right. Now we will go over to you, John.
Yeah, so it's Cycle Fanatics across the board on all social media platforms. Website www.cycle-fanatics.com. Yeah, appreciate everybody in the chat, everybody that's watching. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you, Rob. Appreciate you, Mike. And see you. I guess I'll see you tomorrow, Rob.
Yeah.
And then I guess I'll see Mike and who else is going to Tolls Ride?
Oh, definitely.
Well,
I'll be there. I'll be in Daytona.
everybody's going.
Yeah.
We got to change this guy's name to Joe Can't Go.
Not my fault, man. The darn army always gets in the way of the best events, and it's all right. I'll be out soon enough. I'll be as old as you guys one day and be able to retire. You know.
Thank you for your service, man. Mike
Right,
is still working. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, he's almost there. He's almost there.
Almost there.
What do you got, Q?
Riding and Wrenching on YouTube, Instagram. I've got my Facebook group, so you can check me out there as well. So, I just do primarily Harley content. I'm a relatively new rider, just sharing my experience with everybody on social media. That's all I do.
What's your Facebook group's name?
Great question. I just changed the name of it.
Harley Davidson 2023/2024 CV.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yes, it's an awesome group too. It's an awesome group.
Yeah, and it's probably going to start growing now that they introduced to the 2024 models. Yeah,
actually,
similar stuff.
It's picked up a little bit. Got a lot more people subscribing to the channel.
It'll grow a lot quicker if the person that started it knows the name of it.
Right.
Check the description of my video. It's correct down there.
Okay.
All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you want to stick around after the stream, if not, no big deal. I know you guys are busy, but I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Awesome time. Thanks for everybody that did super chat, gave this a thumbs up. And if you guys want to see some of my other previous live streams, make sure you check out this playlist right here if you're watching it on the replay. And as always, this is Jogo with Jogo Motorcycle Adventures. And until next time, ride on.